1:15 hours. The canopy jolts at 150 miles an hour. The opening shock nearly dislocates your shoulder. Somewhere in the dark below, your leg bag rips free. It takes your M1 Garand and all your spare ammo with it before you even hit the ground. You land hard, waist deep in freezing water. Minutes later, a fireball lights up the horizon. The C-47, carrying the command staff, vaporizes. You pull yourself out of the swamp, drawing a trench knife and a 1911 pistol. Beneath the flooded trees, the woods are quiet. Every few steps, you have to yank your boot free before the sodden ground holds it. A soldier stumbles up to you through the dark, bareheaded.
Lieutenant,
he whispers. You look around. 12 men. The officers are gone. The men look at you. On a staff map, the position ahead of you was supposed to be cleared by a full battalion. Here you can count every man you have without taking off your gloves. In the distance, every 15 seconds, a deep thud echoes back from Utah Beach. An empty canteen clatters across the churned earth. A bloody hand quietly picks it up. You pull an M1 Garand from a dead paratrooper in the wet clay. You check his pockets. 2 clips. 1 frag grenade. Nobody volunteers a plan. You crush your cigarette into the dirt, sling the rifle, and start walking. The shadows silently follow. 8:50 hours. You stand at the edge of the woods. The open field ahead isn't large. On a normal training day, you could sprint across it in under a minute. This morning, it looks like a mile. The guy next to you squats, digging a clump of clay out of his rifle's receiver. You pat your pockets. 2 clips left. No smoke grenades. No covering artillery. Just wet fog and the black muzzle of an MG-42. Sitting quietly inside a concrete bunker. At the far end of the field, you don't yell. You just step out from behind the tree.
move.
You sprint into the open, boots pounding the soft earth. Instantly, the deafening rip of the MG-42 shrieks. Bullets chew up the grass, kicking dirt right into your face. Popeye Wynn suddenly folds. He crashes into the grass, grabbing his thigh.
My leg! I am hit!
He screams over the gunfire. You flinch. Every instinct tells you to drop down and pull your brother up.
Crawl to the crater! Keep moving!
Lipton roars from behind you. You hesitate for exactly half a second. Then you turn your head. You keep running, leaving Popeye behind. An ammo pouch slips off someone's belt. The muck swallows it instantly. You crash down into the first trench. The air is thick with copper and cordite. A dead German lies right under your boot. You quietly reload. 9:15 hours. The trench is so narrow that 2 men passing have to turn their shoulders. Thick gunsmoke hangs in the air. The man behind you coughs black spit into the muck. Right in front of you, the first 105mm gun blocks the view. Heat radiating off its steel barrel hits your face. On paper, permanently destroying this requires TNT. But your explosives are sitting at the bottom of a swamp. Lipton wipes blood off his face and stares at the massive breach.
We got nothing to blow this with!
You look around the pit. Next to the gun sits an open wooden crate, full of German stick grenades. You shove the German grenades deep into the 105's barrel. Dropping in the American frag grenade you pulled from the dead paratrooper. To trigger the blast, the steel block cracks open. 1 gun down, 3 to go. But you are out of explosives. Then the survival math changes. Lipton crawls up from the rear, dragging a heavy canvas bag. He wipes blood off his face.
Lieutenant found the German reserve!
Blocks of TNT. You don't have to rely on scavenged stick grenades anymore. Pushing down the trench to the second gun. You pack the explosives directly into the breach. A massive blast shakes the earth. 2 guns down, 2 left. 9:40 hours. The communication trench to the third gun doesn't run straight. It zigzags to absorb blast waves. That means your line of sight is locked. You never see past 10 feet. One blind corner, and you face a submachine gun. The clay is slick, with blood and brass. You lean around a turn, rifle raised. A gray tunic steps out. Your Garand fires. The enemy slumps against the dirt wall. An empty clip ejects with a dry metallic ping. You reach into your pocket, the last clip. You smash it into the receiver. Private First Class John Halls steps up next to you to cover the advance. The Germans at the third gun hear the movement. A burst of machine gun fire chews the edge of the trench overhead. Halls folds instantly. He collapses into the dirt right at your feet. No last words, no dramatic goodbye. Just a heavy thud as he bleeds out into the empty brass casings. You step over him, using the newly acquired TNT to blow the third gun. 3 down, 1 left. 10:30 hours. The push toward the final gun stalls. Ammo is running dangerously low. The German resistance is stiffening as they realize they are losing the battery. Suddenly, a figure sprints across the open grass right above you, ignoring the crossfire. Lieutenant Spares from D Company has arrived with reinforcements. He doesn't drop into the trench for cover. He runs in the open, tossing grenades into the final gun pit, and jumps down into the dirt next to you. No word of greeting, Spares just nods forward. It doesn't add up. The air is thick with lead, yet a man running in the open doesn't get a scratch, while men like John Halls, hiding in the deep trench, bleed out on the dirt. Using the momentum, the assault hits the fourth gun. Another charge of TNT is set, another deafening blast. 11 o'clock hours. The final blast dies out. The space falls into silence. Black smoke rises from 4 piles of scrap iron. You step down into the German underground command bunker. The air smells of sweat and blood. On a cracked wooden table, a map is spread out. Chewed pencil stubs are scattered around it. You roll the map up and shove it into your jacket. Outside, the ground vibrates. The squeak of tracks and hobnail boots from the German reserves push up from the south. You look down at your Garand. The bolt is locked open, empty. The soldier next to you is scraping dried earth off his rifle stock. He doesn't look up.
Fall back,
You say. The men drag themselves out of the tree line. Lipton is carrying Wynne on his back, blood dripping from his leg into the shell-torn earth. The wind blows across the cooling barrels. Nobody cheers. Nobody pats you on the back. Everyone just keeps their heads down and walks. Years later, officers at West Point would study this assault as a textbook example of infantry tactics. The reality of that morning was that you didn't have hundreds of men. You had no heavy weapons. The only thing you brought back was a looted map. But behind you, the 4 guns pointing at Utah Beach had finally gone quiet. The battle is over, but the war is just starting. When the textbooks burn and the math fails, what do? Leave your answer in the comments. Subscribe to Turning Point History.